Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Parker Nirenstein, and this is Vehicle Versions. Hopefully, you guys have already seen the review I did on the Lamborghini LM002, the craziest truck ever created. If not, I've got a link in the description below for that. But we're gonna do some behind-the-scenes action today. Go to Lamborghini Newport Beach, pick that thing up, and then see what it's like to drive first-person point of view style. Let's roll. Look at this van with gold wheels, absolutely mobbing. I dig it. Look at that, boys. We got some eyelashes on that Kia Soul. I know that was inspired by my video on the Volkswagen Beetle. She's loving life. On my way to Newport Beach right now, and honestly, I haven't been this excited to review a car in a long time. If you've seen the review already, you'll know that there's only 48 of these in the United States. And of those 48, a lot of them are in sheds, not running, or never driven. And the fact that I've been given this opportunity to actually drive one around and review it is just honestly a highlight of the year so far. Pulling up to the dealership now. Ooh, I see it. I see it. All right, so I showed up at Lamborghini Newport Beach expecting that the coolest thing there was gonna be the LM002. Obviously, they have a crazy inventory, but check out what they've got today. This McLaren P1 is the last ever non-registered P1. So this is legitimately brand new, and it even comes with the ability to send this back. In order to do the full carbon body P1, you have to send it back to McLaren. They take the entire thing apart and then put it back together with the carbon body panels. But what I was just told by one of the people who works here is that you get to keep the original body panels, and they have the availability of doing an exploded diagram in your living room of the P1. So it actually looks like you have your yellow P1 in your house. Next to it, first generation Bugatti Veyron, obviously pretty cool. This is a one owner car, and the guy drove it 17,000 miles. That's what I want to be like someday. Props to him. Obviously, Koenigsegg Regera, owned by Dan, super cool dude. Centenario Roadster, last one for sale. I like that blue color. But today is all about the LM002, so let's go check it out. This is definitely the most interesting car I put my luggage in. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle figuring out where to put my tripod and slider, especially in a Lamborghini. But in the LM002, we have this awesome rear bed that folds down. The spare tire is right here. The tire weighs so much that actually lifting this back up, I'm a little bit nervous to do. There's even seats back here for you to sit. Latch that down there. And then on the other side, there's another latch. About to go into the LM002 for the first time. Check out the key. Now, I thought the key on my Gallardo was bad. This doesn't even have a Lamborghini logo on it. I'm sure somebody has a reason for why there's an S on it. Kind of looks like the keys to a mailbox or my house. Just check out the interior on this thing. Obviously, I go more into detail on the interior during the review. Not sure what's going on, but look at this shifter. Just got done filming the exterior shots on this thing and have been exploring it all day. I am in love with this vehicle. It's truly unfortunate that just a couple years ago, these used to be $60,000 to $90,000. And in fact, when I was doing research on it before the review, I found a couple articles saying you could buy one for 120 grand, and I thought, wouldn't that be the single coolest car to bring to the channel for a not absurd amount of money? Now, I don't know what I would do with something like this, but it is so darn cool, I would find a way. Well, unfortunately, prices have absolutely skyrocketed, and it's almost impossible to find a clean example of one of these for less than $500,000 to $600,000. Yeah, for $500,000 to $600K, I don't think I can afford that for a random luxury item. Well, it is finally time to go on that drive. I'm gonna put on the point of view camera and show you what it's like to drive a Lamborghini LM002. Let's hit it. All right, guys, let's do it. I'm gonna show you what it's like to drive the LM002. Before that, let's go over a little walk around of the exterior, shall we? I love the way the hood bulges like this, and it isn't just for looks. You actually had to have this bulge here for the intake manifold and another bulge over here for more internal components of the engine so that the engine would actually fit in the truck itself. You can't deny this is one of the coolest looking vehicles ever created. It's bulbous, it's insane, and it's very, very much Lamborghini. We've got a spare tire on the back. Just check out that massive dual exhaust. And one thing I was surprised about when I first started this is how good it truly sounds. You know, there's no way to know in videos what an LM002 is gonna sound like, but I'm pleased to report it's fantastic. In here, the truck bed, we also have seats for more passengers. And of course, back here, we've got room as well. Let's go ahead and hop in the front seat, shall we? These doors are incredibly heavy. I love the nice wood, the leather. Go ahead and hop in here. Alrighty, so insert the key right here. Go ahead and push the clutch in. This is a 5-speed ZF manual. So we've got, pull this up, forward, that's reverse, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Pretty cool. Let's fire this bad boy up, shall we? Oh boy, that sounds good. Lovely analog instrument cluster here. We've got the gas tank that when you actually drive, it flaps around like this, so you're not quite sure how much range you have left, but the good news is you have that 76-gallon tank that I talked about in the review, so you should be good on range. Look at that, 29,000 miles on this thing, and it feels just great. The actual speedo is in kilometers. Top speed on the speedo is 220 kilometers, 140 miles an hour, although the actual top speed is 118 on this thing. Let's go ahead and put the seatbelt on. Interestingly enough, the actual seatbelt fastener here is kind of behind the seat. Before we take off, let's go over some of the controls in the interior. We have these 2 levers here to control the 4-wheel drive system. We've got normal, low, 4x4, lock differentials, and 4x2 in case you want rear-wheel drive. Now we've also got the window switches here. We've got these tiny little rubber mirrors that are apparently standard on many 80s vehicles. Actually getting an OEM Lamborghini one is difficult, but you can get the same exact part from Alfa Romeo, funny enough. If you look over to the right, most of the mirror is actually blocked by the door itself. So visibility out of the side mirror isn't great, but in general, the visibility in the LM002 is fantastic. Massive front windshield, big rear view mirror, huge window in the back. Everything just feels open and airy. It's a little bit clustered in here. It's pretty tight for your knees, but the actual headroom and then this shoulder feels like you have all the room in the world. So let's go ahead and push in the clutch. The clutch is very, very heavy. So driving this thing in traffic would definitely be a pain, and leaving your foot on the clutch, so you're gonna wanna put it in neutral and just release the clutch like you should anyways. Pull it down into first, that's ZF 5-speed. Now, the actual emergency brake is here to the right. We can go ahead and pull that up just to show you, but we'll put that back down because we're taking off. And let's go ahead and set out, shall we? The view over the hood is so unique. I mean, your visibility is obstructed a bit by those massive humps, but honestly, it makes driving it that much cooler. That's kind of the point of the LM002, isn't it? Just to have the coolest truck possible, and Lamborghini has done that very well. The car is very loud on the inside. That V12 penetrates the cabin with just fury, and I love that about it. Riding over some bumps here, handles pretty well over those bumps. Give it a little more gas. I mean, listen to that. That's just 4,000 RPMs at quarter throttle. Steering is very, very loose. I mean, I have to turn the wheel almost 90 degrees to get it to go around a small little bend. There's tons of play in the wheel, but honestly, not a big deal. Lamborghinis are all about fun, and that is what the Rambo Lambo embodies entirely. As I talked about in the review, we've got a 5.2-liter V12 from a Lamborghini Countach right there. Yes, that's right, the Lamborghini Countach engine is in the front of this truck, making 444 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 happens in 7.7 seconds. This is a 5,950 pound giant truck, so obviously it's not going to be the quickest, but it's so loud, it's so raw and fun, it doesn't really matter that it doesn't accelerate as fast as your typical Lambo would. Let's give it a little gas, shall we? I mean, just listen to that. The backfires on overrun, oh my gosh. Shifted into third. The linkage is a little bit sloppy, but somewhere in the middle of loose and tight. The linkage is a little sloppy, but it's still incredibly fun that this came with a ZF 5-speed manual instead of an automatic. I love the positioning of the steering wheel. It actually feels really great in your hands. If the steering rack was a bit tighter and more accurate, it'd be more nimble, but honestly, maybe that's part of the experience of the LM002. Let's test out the brakes. The brakes take a serious amount of pressure in order to press that down and slow the vehicle, but they did feel pretty effective. I also like this viewpoint here. So yeah, you've got some blockage over there, but you've got this nice little tunnel right down the middle, right in front of the steering column with perfect visibility. We've got the audio system up here. It's actually an Alpine unit, interestingly enough. Alcantara headliner that actually has aged really well for the year of this thing. All right, let's give it some gas, shall we? Oh, that is fantastic. Let's do a little downshift. Oh, that Countach V12. Wow, 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 wow. The nice part about this is there's plenty of space in the rear as well for legitimate full-sized adults. They didn't just make it a 4-door just for the heck of it. You could put people back there comfortably. And the fact that there's additional seating in the rear is just out of this world. I'm not quite sure what you do with that, but perhaps tailgating. Okay, I just turned the vehicle off. Let's go ahead and hop in the back so I can show you more of the space there. Love the design of the front grille. That is just badass. And the size of these tires, 345s in the front as well as the rear. And just look at the hub on this thing. You can actually turn it by locking this from 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive. Don't have the tool for that, however. This is where the gas goes in, that 76-gallon tank. In the rear, in order to open this up, pull these up, open that latch, pull up this one, open that latch, lift this down. It's extremely heavy, and then you can go ahead and hop in and sit in there. But let's actually go into the rear interior. Tons of leather everywhere. I mean, leather on the door panel, leather on the back of the seat, leather here on the center console. I love how it has the captain's chair layout with this massive center console. It makes it feel more unique. Look how much leg room we have, plenty of headroom as well. You're nowhere near your passenger. We've got some extra storage space down here if you like. Climate control, window switches. I like how these are kind of rubberized and then you actually have to press in hard enough to actually depress the button. Interesting. Now what's really cool is you actually have a ton of space to, let's say, put your phone. If you want to use maps, obviously this doesn't have navigation. You can put your phone here, or you can decide to put it over there next to the shifter, either or. Look at that, we've got an ashtray, cigarette lighter, giant sun visors. Let's hop back into the front, shall we? Open the door, we pull on this, and hop on out. We've got a kill switch for the battery here. You can turn this to the side. The seats are manually adjustable. In the front here is a lever to slide it forwards and back. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up again, shall we? This is where the turning indicators are located. Left turn signal, right turn signal. I honestly feel invincible when driving this thing. A 6,000-pound hunk of steel, no matter what you were to run into, that other object would lose. Oh my gosh, that sound. Just passed a Maserati Levante, I'm sure he felt inferior. This is the new beast in town, and it's from 1986. I would rather have this than a new Lamborghini Urus, I'm being honest. The Urus does not sound like that, that's for dang sure. Well, I think it's time to take this thing back to the dealership and just fully comprehend what I've just driven today. I gotta say, special thanks to Lamborghini of Newport Beach for making this possible. Got a link in the description below to their website. See you in a few. Just got back to the dealership. They are loading up all the cars. Let's go back inside because there are some awesome vehicles that I didn't highlight yet. Check out that Aventador S. Check this out, guys. This is one of the coolest colored Aventador SVs I have ever seen in my entire life. The color is called Blue Alano, and it actually has a hint of purple in it. But my favorite part is this detail right here, the exposed carbon fiber SV logo. What makes this option so spectacular and expensive is that I just learned on the normal Aventadors, even the SVs, this is actually a composite material, the rear quarter panel. So they actually have to remove that, build a custom new full carbon fiber rear quarter panel, then paint over it and leave the carbon fiber bit exposed. Here's another spectacularly rare car, McLaren SLR 722. Contrary to what you may think, the 722 does not have 722 horsepower, but it is a special edition Roadster. Look how much carbon fiber is throughout the entire vehicle. Carbon fiber bucket seats, new badging. It's got a different front end from the normal SLR. I've driven several SLRs now and can say, honestly, one of the most unique driving experiences of any vehicle. And man, that thing sounds and goes like crazy. This light blue Aventador S is also gorgeous. I am in love with light blue Lamborghinis. Look at that. See, look how purple the SV looks from this angle now. That's wild. One last final goodbye to these beautiful hypercars. All right, back into alley. Filling up gas before we head all the way back home, and it brought up a quick point. I have to go to the gas station all the time in this E63, and after driving that LM002 with a 76-gallon tank, I'm wondering why people, especially in German luxury sedans like the M5 or the E63, don't put bigger tanks in them. Now, I understand weight reasons. Obviously, if you had 3 times bigger of a tank, it's gonna be pretty heavy, and then if the M5 wants to be competitive against the E63 in terms of weight with fluids, then there's going to be an issue. But if all of them together could just go, you know what? Let's put a 35, 40-gallon tank in it. The range would be insane. I honestly don't know the reasoning behind this. If you guys do, leave a comment in the comment section below. Here's something funny that I've never done before. So this morning when I was filming, I actually left my phone right here. Now, because of the carbon fiber spoiler, I actually drove off with my phone right here. The carbon fiber spoiler saved my phone's life because it couldn't go anywhere. Pulled over, stopped, it was still there. So thank you, Mercedes. Well, at least it's not $321. But I think it's time to feel what 740 horsepower on the highway feels like. I actually wasn't expecting it to go that hard. Oh, yep. I love this car. Well, that was an absolutely epic day driving the Lamborghini truck. Special thanks again to Lamborghini of Newport Beach for making that possible. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash that thumbs up button. If you're not part of the Vehicle Virgins family yet, smash that subscribe button. Turn that notification bell on so you're up to date to the latest and greatest automotive content. Like always, I look forward to seeing you next video.